It is time to continue GB3 action around Spa. We've got our one and only live race for this weekend, unfortunately with the other two being recorded, but we get to enjoy one live race together, and it might just be the best one because we've got some rain in the air as well, which means it's going to add to the action and craziness of this session. Well, hello everyone, you are welcomed up to the commentary box here in GB3. And we've got the circuit that is drying, meaning we're going to get lots of stuff coming up from the world feed in terms of interviews. So we're actually going to hand over to them now while I quickly perfect our systems, because I've noticed some things have gone a little glitchy, and that's what happens when, we haven't really streamed GB3 properly for a while due to so many different clashes, so a lot of it has been on record.
4.6 degrees Celsius, the track temperature somewhere in the low 30s as well. Wind speed not ridiculously high. It was very windy earlier on in the day, but that's dropped down now to just 12 kilometers an hour. It's not super fast. It should be very manageable. Of course, high winds around a high-speed circuit like this can cause its fair share of problems, but they don't have that to worry about, and Kanatoli can focus his attention forwards and potentially to a race victory. He'll have a lot of work ahead of him, though, to fend off Gianmarco Prado, but to fend off the championship leader, Alex Ninovic, who starts from third position. Big important stuff, though, of those championship contenders, some that are a little bit further down the order than maybe we would expect. Pat Huizenrode, just 10th place. This was noted going into race one, that his race one starting position really not that bad. He was starting from third position in race one, and race two it would be a bit of a struggle from 10th place. However, one major concern for the championship leader from Zandvoort is his race pace. Whilst not that bad, he was knocked out of the rhythm quite a bit during the race, and that maybe could throw up a few questions. Back there as well, Hugo Schwarzer, after a great drive to a podium, was eyeing up a potential victory before a little bit of contact between himself and Will McIntyre. He's starting down in 12th position alongside Kai Darianani, who's actually had some really good speed in the time past. So the marshals guiding the final few drivers into place on the green flag lap. So it's the installation lap. That is not the formation lap. So they're all put into their spots. Then they will begin the formation lap. They'll go for one final, basically, preparation of this 7-kilometre behemoth of the world of motorsport. Then they'll position themselves back onto the grid and they'll get ready to go racing. What could you imagine the thoughts are like of the drivers behind the wheels? That's Keanu Elazari, the, of course, high-tech TGR driver, backed by Alpine. The bright pink BWT sponsorship on that car looks absolutely fantastic, and you literally cannot miss it. He'll be starting this one from fifth position, eyeing up another podium. We've seen some great speed out of him. There's Kai Darianani. You can see over there the number 5 on the background of the shot, just in the distance. He, of course, came into this round as the championship leader. He's already relinquished that. He'll be eyeing on finding a way of grabbing it back somehow, any way possible. He'll give it a good go. Some of the drivers that are further down the order, again, it is going to be... we'll roll through the grid, by the way, once we've got rolling, so don't panic too much. But Freddie Slater will be starting once again from 23rd position. Deegan Fairclough will be starting back there with him. The difference between this race and the last race is the other two high-tech TGR cars of Keanu Elazari and Nikita Johnson were both able to qualify. One major thing, though, Nikita Johnson was originally slated to start from 3rd position. He's dropped back to 6th. Courtesy of a 3-place grid penalty after an incident in the previous race. So, the formation lap begins then, and we are led by Kanato Lee for the Hill Speed team, then it's Gianmarco Prado for Rodin, and then it is the entire rest of the field ready, hungry for some big results. What could be out there for them? Is there the potential of maybe podiums, even for those at the back end of the top 10? With the drive that Freddie Slater had through the field, you wouldn't necessarily rule it out. Let's take a look at the starting grid with Kanato.
Yep, absolutely. Let's take a look at our starting grid. Indeed, it is Kanato Lee at the front of the field alongside Gianmarco Prado. Alex Ninovic starts in 3rd, and it's Hayu Yamakoshi who goes from 4th on the grid. Keanu Elazari is in 5th. Nikita Johnson finds himself starting in 6th, the driver who was involved in a bit of contact with Jack Sherwood earlier on today. Will McIntyre's in 7th. He's alongside Dion Gowder for XL Motorsport. He'll go from 8th place. Let's see what he's going to be able to do from that place. Noah Lowe is in 9th. Struggled earlier on. He was definitely in the mix, as was Husenroder at the front of the field, involved in some of our 4-wide action down the Kemmel Straight. Kai Darianani is in 11th. Hugo Schwarzer is in 12th position, the German driver for VRD Racing. Abby Pulling in 13th. Yuan Pusue, the Mercedes Junior, in 14th position as well, of course, driving for Argenti with Prema. Same applies to Reza Siburat, and he's also a part of that team, and he starts in 15th. Jack Sherwood, we mentioned him earlier on in our grid. He was the driver involved in contact, causing our safety car earlier on. Flynn Jacques is in 17th. Stefan Bostanjiv is in 18th place. 19th sees Bianca Bustamante, and it's Divinandan alongside as well in 20th, the driver who brought out our first safety car earlier on. Lux Flusha is in 21st, Deegan Fairclough is in 22nd, and it's still the same person in 23rd, and his name is Freddie Slater, but after recovering to 10th by the end of earlier race, by the end of earlier on, I should say, rather. Proper English would be nice, everybody. Yeah, but with how he recovered in that, I feel like there's going to be a good chance for him today coming into this race. So we'll, of course, bring it over to the main camera screen. And for once, I mean, we have proper timings and everything working. Oh, hold on, never mind. Let's not jinx that. I think Driver Tracker comes on soon. So they make their way through right now on the formation lap, coming down to the bus stop chicane. And for GB3, the action is about to get underway and begin as the formation lap comes to a close. It's going to be action-packed. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be GB3 at Spa. Who's ready for a little bit of fun then? Cannot wait for this one to begin, as they all make their way through and line themselves up in position. Here we go. It is time for GB3. I've got something uploading, so if you're seeing a little bit of lag, then that might be why. I've got something uploading, which is, you know, the Porsche Supercup quality I'm uploading, just so we get it out of the way. So that might be causing a little bit of lag, so apologies for that. But I think it should be over soon, so that will be good, and hopefully the lag will come to a close. Right now, though, we can't worry about lag. We can only worry about looking to those 5 lights and getting ready to go. GB3 Racing. And it's going to be Canatali on pole position. Pradell alongside him. All 5 lights will come on at once. But before we get to that procedure, we have to wait for the green flag to be waved at the back in GB3. There we go. 5 lights on, 5 lights off, and the second race of the weekend is underway, and Alex Ninovic is pushing himself straight to P1. He gets past his teammate, and he gets past Kanato Lee, who drops down to 3rd position. Keanu Baltaheri was on the grass momentarily as well. As we navigate our way to La Source, it's getting super tight at the back. Freddie Slater, I can see, in the hill speed close, trying to navigate his way through, wheel to a Rouge. Kanato Lee backs out of it, and he's going to be under pressure from his teammate Yamakoshi. Will surely get a big opportunity in a few moments time. We're side by side through a Rouge, and now onto this Kemmel Straight, which had 4 wide earlier on in the battle for 2nd place. This time it's going to have wheel to wheel in the battle for the lead as Pradell covers the inside line. Keanu Baltaheri going on the grass again. We're 4 wide, very nearly 5 wide down the Kemmel Straight. Ninovic emerges as the race leader. Moving to 2nd place is Yamakoshi. Over the road there goes one of our contenders. Surely Pradell had to go over the Lacombe chicane, and he's dropping down a couple of positions. He's having to defend left and right as Ninovic maintains the lead. Yamakoshi is in 2nd place, and then it's going to be Pradell in 3rd. Unbelievable stuff. So Pradell recovering after losing a couple of positions. Kanato Lee is the hill speed car, who's also in the mix there as well. We're wheel to wheel. Down towards the braking zone we go. It's going to be tight, but it's Ninovic at the front. What unbelievable racing to start GB3. Here we go. We're properly getting this one going. Lockup coming in. That's Nikita Johnson with a lockup in the number 4 High-Tech. So the number 4 High-Tech having a lockup momentarily. Does this driver tracker work? It should work. We're going to leave it there, and he'll hopefully turn on in a moment's time. But it's really annoying when things don't work as they navigate their way through. So it's Ninovic, Yamakoshi, and Lee. That is your top 3. Al-Zahari's in 4th. Pradell's in 5th. McIntyre's in 6th. And we got to the 4 wide, very nearly 5 wide chaos, but this time it was in the battle for the win. We're side by side. A big chance in coming further back. The teammates of Yamakoshi and Lee are together. But Ninovic, what a getaway to get straight into contention and challenge at the front. I think that was Slater who ran off the road in the background. He's in 18th, by the way. Fairclough recovered to 15th, so both of them already on the charge. 3 wide! To the source corner we go! That's gonna get super tight, surely! The number 10 of Reza Siworth having to back out of it. Hugo Schwarzer and Patrick Husenroad are all going for it down into the source. And they're still going to be battling by the time we surely get to Eau Rouge. Who's going to give an inch? Wait for them to arrive in your picture. Wheel to wheel, side by side. And Schwarzer is ahead of Pat Husenroad, who had to get out of the throttle. And it means that he'll be under pressure. Wheel to wheel we go. In the battle for second place, it's a switch between the teammates. Getting through. Lee moves up to second place. Yamakoshi drops down. And he has to look in his mirrors because Keanu El-Zahari is in the battle as well. Unbelievable stuff. Fantastic action between third and fourth in this contest. But very nearly 4 wide, very nearly 5 wide is unbelievable stuff. Down the Kemmel Straight. We're heading to Pouhon though on lap number 2 of the race. They've kept it clean so far, have GB3. So very well done there for the field. Oh, it's getting super tight though. That is going to be Nikita Johnson trying to pass Will McIntyre. And Will McIntyre having to really check his mirrors at this stage. He's got it full of high tech at the moment. We stand on the power and make our way through around this circuit at the moment. So it is Ninovic, and then it's Kanata-Lee, then it's Yamakoshi. The hill speeds, they're still remaining close together, but I can see that Kanata-Lee's now starting to push and starting to get himself up towards our race leader, which is Alex Ninovic. So that's an interesting battle that is going on between those two drivers at the moment. And the upload I can see has been complete, so I feel like the lag will now stop, everybody. So, yeah, apologies if you were seeing quite a bit of lag. That now, I believe, will stop because the upload is finished. Well, there's a bit of information. Never upload a YouTube video on the same PC that you're streaming with. I just thought I'd risk it. But to be fair, we've not really lost anything, have we? You just had a little bit of lag. Just a bit of lag. You've still been able to hear me clearly. That's a good thing. That's why I could risk it. But now everything should be good and everything should be okay. So we make our way through them. Down the Kemmel Straight once again. Remember, GB3 has DRS, and it's DRS which is going to see Kanata-Lee close in. Close in. Ninovic has to check his mirrors. Lee closes in, cannot get by. Will McIntyre trying to make a move further back. And he's trying to go around the outside. He couldn't do it. He couldn't make that move. As we go and get ready to go back downhill into a corner which some people call Rivage. I mean, it's a circuit that's been open for years and years. I mean, I say years, decades. Over a century. It's like unbelievable. It's Spa. So it is a venue that is definitely talked about in different ways in terms of corner names. The field navigate their way through. So the race beginning to settle in at the moment. So the race just beginning to settle in at this stage. Freddie Slater, the number 27, he is running in 14. So that's his recovery that he's been able to get up to. Where is Deegan? So Deegan's lost out to Slater actually. And Slater's gained another place. He's passed Hugo Schwarzer. I mean, Slater's literally, you look away and you focus on something else. Like I focus, for example, on our top two who were close together. And they were very nearly going side by side. I give momentarily a bit of focus to them. And then I see Slater jumped up 2 places magically. Literally. It's unbelievable. Here we go. Battle for the lead closing in. Battle for third closing in. This is the GB3 race that we won. I think Slater could definitely get a better result even than 10th today. I think in this race he can do even better at this rate. And he's got up to 12th. That's another position gained. Unbelievable stuff. DRS wide open for Lee. Down into turn 1. He has the experience, of course, from racing here in Feka a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago to be precise. And he's got a chance to now take the lead away from Alex Nidovic. Our winner in race 1 is going to have to really look in his mirrors as we go wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge and Radion. And Freddie Slater makes the move at Rouge as Kanato Lee takes the lead. He gets ahead of Alex Nidovic. Alex Al-Zahari making the move for P3. He gets to the inside and he gets to 3rd. Pradell, did he get ahead of Nikita Johnson? Just going to go back through for a moment. Who arrives in our picture ahead? It is gonna be Johnson. So Johnson's ahead in that battle. Unbelievable, Freddie Slater to fight our way through down at Eau Rouge. The bravery that we're seeing from these drivers. I mean, I was talking with Josh Roberts when it came to the World Endurance Championship. We were covering that a few weeks ago. And we were discussing how we're seeing more and more drivers in that race who were going for it. And across everything that we cover with Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3. Chuck that all out of the window. I think I've seen like about 4, 5, 6 across these 2 races so far, wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge and Radion. Unbelievable GB3 action. These drivers are the bravest of them lot. Even braver than Feka. In Feka, I didn't see it. Well, I mean, I did see it a few times, but I didn't see it many times. We're absolutely crushing Feka. We're making this GB3 at Spa like something that's like we're just able to do. Like it's normal. It's a normal thing. But it shouldn't be normal for cars to run through a Rouge in that way, keeping their foot in. And Freddie Slater, I mean, we know Freddie Slater is extraordinary, but goodness me. The bravery that he's able to demonstrate, absolutely extraordinary. So, is there going to be any opportunities to make some overtakes? Nidovic will be under pressure. What was going on down at the bus stop? I momentarily saw a late switch with our camera. Now a camera down there at the moment. We stand on the power. And we get ready to go up to Eau Rouge and Radion. But yeah, it's unbelievable the bravery we're seeing into Eau Rouge. I think it's the bravest I've ever seen in any championship I've covered at Spa. In a real life race, I think it's the best I've ever seen. We're seeing so many drivers risk it into it. And everything's working. Nikita Johnson wheel to wheel with Yamakoshi, who had a great start to the race. He's beginning to fade down now. And that's Johnson taking another position. Meanwhile, Slater was able to get up to 10th. By the way. Fairclough's in 13th. If anyone is wondering, by the way, why I keep mentioning Slater and Fairclough. Of course we have lots of battles going on. But we need to constantly check up on them because they're both gaining positions at a rapid pace. Remember, they both started 23rd and 22nd, and there's a reason why I'm having to mention them a lot. You know, I mean, you might be surprised that okay, well, this driver's running all the way down there in 10th. Why does this commentator just keep mentioning every single overtake he does? It's like he's a contender. Honestly, he's driving so well. Where it's like, he was denied due to an issue in quali, but in the race, he's gaining positions every few laps, so it's like, you know, he could be up 3 places by the time we get down to a new lap. So we're constantly having to look at him. And I'm constantly just keeping you up to date with his progress. Because, let's be honest, Slater, Fairclough, we both expected them from the back to navigate their way through. So Fairclough's close to a move on Reza Seaworthy. Let's see whether he will be able to make that move as well. If anyone's wondering, of course, we started the season with having Wes with us in this GB3 championship. For the last 2 rounds, it's just been me. But yeah, as it all settles down a little bit, on weekends where it is possible, there will be more people. We've got LA as well, who if you did watch our Formula 2 coverage, she's part of the team and she's also going to be joining us for a bit of GB3 this year. Tom Cairns will be joining us for a bit of GB3. He may even be at GB3 circuits. Same applies with Richie as well. So for GB3, we've actually got quite a few people, but it's just that everyone is so busy. And I don't want to have to bring Tom over once he's done a whole day of Formula 1 action and stuff like that. So we're just waiting for a normal weekend. And of course, Wes is doing his BBC thing, so he's having to record those. He's also having to send me over a Porsche Super Cup qualifying, so it's all changing very quickly. Okay, Nikita Johnson roaring up to 3rd position. Al Zahari wants to fight back. It's tied into the braking zone between the two of them. But there's nothing that he can do. Konatoli has the lead by 1 second. Does Alex Ninovic have anything to fight back? That is my question. So I'm really disappointed that this driver track has decided that it's a good idea not to work. Basic technology just not working. I hope you can see why I'm getting annoyed at this. Oh, look, refresh it and it works. Brilliant. Thank you very much. But no, honestly, I'm going to start getting a headache soon in terms of how much all of these systems, how every week we're having to change live timings. And we're going Zandvoort next. So that'll probably be another change of live timings. Sorry, we're not going Zandvoort next. That's Frecker. There, you see? Getting championships mixed up now. We already been to Zandvoort. That's why I was thinking about Zandvoort. But yeah, that'll be an issue I sort out in Frecker. But literally, we've had 3 rounds, and all 3 rounds have had different live timings. So it's literally like, oh yeah, we've got TSL timings. Leave it for the rest of the year. You do it once every year, and we can all sit back, relax, and enjoy ourselves. No, every single week I'm having to do season opening weekend stuff, where you're having to set up a new timing to make it look like literally like it's brand new every season. So it's like, what is going on? Slater up to 9th, Fairclough up to 11th, so they've both gained a couple of positions in the meantime. Remember, this is a green circuit, by the way. The rain has been coming down. It was coming down in great intensity. We had a slow-mo coming in from GB3. That was a few hours ago from this race, and it was completely coming down at that time. It's now settled in a little bit more, which is really nice to see as well. It means that we're still able to bring you DRS. We're still able to bring you racing around Spa. One of the biggest fears is not being able to go racing and getting cancelled races due to weather. And that's always the last thing that you want to see. We're hoping to bring you British F4. By the way, from Silverstone. That will be really a lot of fun. Looking forward to that one. Of course, it's supporting the F1 weekend, so yeah, we're going to hope to bring you that. We're just, of course, going to have to wait and see who's broadcasting, what's the coverage going to be. Because sometimes, it may not even get streamed, which is really sad. There is I find it ridiculous that there's even a chance that it may not get streamed. I hope, like, maybe Sky and F1 TV pick it up for one round, as it's a special occasion having F1, F2, F3 and a British F4, so I'd say pick it up, or at least allow it on YouTube, the YouTube channel, which, you know, ITV on touring car weekends, they absolutely muck around. I find it ridiculous that British F4 cannot get a stream. So we're the only people here at JB Motorsports through our touring car day watch along on Saturday that are able to bring you. Like, there's like literally there's only a watch along coverage available for the Saturday action, which is quite sad. But yeah, for example, for something like British F4, if there's no stream, then unfortunately we can't even bring it to you, because there's not like a Toka radio or trackside comms or any of that. It's close between Johnson and Ninovic, so me waffling's about to just, you know, take a slight toll for the moment, as we get ourselves up to Air Rouge, get ourselves up to Radion. Alex Ninovic versus Nikita Johnson. How is this one going to end up then? It is time for some side-by-side. Around, it'll be to the inside. Around the outside, Ninovic will try to defend, but Johnson moves on through and takes second place. A nice simple spot overtake. He'll now go for the win, will Nikita Johnson. So will there be the chance, will there be the opportunity to go for that said win. Al-Zahari running in 4th, Yamakoshi's in 5th, McIntyre's in 6th. We're going to take a look at a replay of how the battle and how the positions exchanged in the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Final few laps coming up in the GB3 Championship of 2025. Freddie Slater still finds himself in 9th, Fairclough still in 11th, so those two have just kind of settled in their races. It's 1/10 of a second between 2nd and 3rd. Make that 8/10 now. The timings were not updating. They of course update sectorally compared to, of course, all of the Formula 1 and all of that stuff. We're getting constant gaps coming in. I want to look to the battle for 14th. Considering there was a sector time between Lyle Siworton and Yuan Pusue, and if they were separated, and if all 3 cars were under 1/10 of a second when we got to that sector time, it's clearly something's going on there. Talking about something going on, I think we've got an overtake. Yamakoshi's got past Keanu Al-Zahari. Just saw that. The unmissable BWT colours of Keanu Al-Zahari, which we were just discussing about. Being able to not defend up against Yamakoshi, and it means Yamakoshi is allowed back by, but Al-Zahari will get the chance to fight with him towards Arouge and Radion as well. So there still will be the chance, there still will be the opportunity to try to take that position back. Are we going to see it though? Let's find out. Al-Zahari tucks in the slipstream. He will pull all the way to the outside line, or maybe the inside. Let's see which way it will be. It'll be to the inside line that he pulls out. He's got DRS. Yamakoshi doesn't, and that will be the switch. Talking about switching, I think they're side by side between Freddie Slater and Dion Gowda, who will be ahead in that battle. That's between 8th and 9th at the moment. Does Slater get by? Did Slater get by? It would have been tight stuff for the 2 drivers that of course race in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, meaning that it's only their 2nd round of the season. Let's take a look at a replay. Yes, that was Al-Zahari maintaining the position, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in, did Gowda stay ahead? I think Gowda did. So Gowda was able to stay ahead up against Freddie Slater. Kai Darianani in 10th, Fairclough in 11th. So Fairclough's next target is Kai. That's for 10th and 11th. Gowda's next target is Slater's next target is Gowda. And Gowda's of course on the back at the moment of Pradell. So Slater has a chance to get up to 8th, and then does that party end there? If we look at the gaps, 1.5, yeah, I think the party might end unless Pradell drops down. Unless Slater's able to really push it, I think that party will then end. Slater will have to settle for 8th, but still will be better than what he managed in race 1, which is quite something. Wheel to wheel, I think he's getting by. In the background there, Freddie Slater overtakes Dion Gowda. Gowda tries to fight back. Slater's got through anyway. Kanato Lee wins in GB3. It is going to be race victory for Kanato Lee. Nikita Johnson's in 2nd, and Alex Ninovich is in 3rd position. Al-Zahari in 4th, Yamakoshi's in 5th. Interesting racing all the way to the end. And I'm sorry, but what on earth was that? I mean, you know, I don't really like to overreact, but lap 9 out of 12, it shows on the graphic. I believe our timings would have also been suggesting that it's still laps. And somehow the race just ends. Somehow the race is just over like that. Unbelievable. There was supposed to be a few more laps. We ran out of time, but then you have to move the race to time. It doesn't work like that. There's nothing that says it's the final lap. I'm just going to go back on screen. Yeah, there's nothing that's saying that it's the last lap of the race. There's nothing that says that it was the last lap of the race. The checkered flag is waving. That's definitely one that... Okay, so Slater... So it was a last lap move for Slater to move up to 8th. I am speechless. They were side by side across the line. Did Fairclough get the position? No. Kai Darianani hanged on. What has happened there, though? Absolute no confirmation. Absolute no confirmation there of the race ending. I don't know what has happened there. Really unsure. I'm shocked. Everyone's coming into the pit lane as expected. But there was supposed to be 2 more laps. I mean, yeah, we've reached time, but at that point it's like there was no message to suggest the race was over. So Canatali wins like that. Camera's not even watching him, no one expected it. And we're done. I'm really upset. I'm gonna go and, of course, listen to what Lewis McLeod did in commentary. To make sure that, I mean, he may have got the information, but did it catch him out as well? The cameras weren't watching it. Oh my god. Okay, well, I mean, that's gonna bring the end to our coverage here on JB Motorsports. Thank you for joining us across GB3, our only one live race. We'll be back tomorrow for one race on the Sunday. That'll be our reverse grid race, and that'll be delayed, and we'll bring you premiere coverage of that. But for now, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.